actually helps if you put oil in the oiler, not all over the cylinder. But anyway, you guys are going to get my origin story today. We're at the little show that started kind of everything for me that my grandfather and his friends took me to when I was young. And this is a pretty cool show. It's got a lot of unique stuff at it, and it's here in October. It's a nice, cool October morning. We'll get this reed warmed up, fired up, and then I'm going to take you around for a little tour and show what this place has to offer. It's a little early, crowd's kind of small, so I'm going to take advantage of that and do a little bit of filming and try to have something to put together nice for you. I might.
Get all that right up there.
Just be careful of that other cylinder. Like I said, this was kind of my origin story. Been coming to this show for years, and it actually used to be in a different location on another farm just up the road. But the barn had burnt down, and the club had dismissed, or dispersed, I should say. And it kind of died off for a little bit. But the Moore family puts this on, and it's really geared towards kids and getting them interested in old things. It's a unique show to me. It's not really a tractor show. It's not an engine show. It's kind of an everything show. And you know, just a lot of neat experiences for children to have. You know, right here you can pay $1 for a ticket and hop on a backhoe or a mini hoe, and as a child run it. Can't imagine how many people or how many kids that gets interested in this type of stuff. They got a big pan over here, a bunch of old equipment, and every year they dig us down about, I don't know, 3-4 foot with the pan and the dozers, and on Saturday, and then on Sunday, the second day, they build it all back up. I can't tell you how many cubic feet of dirt get moved to one end of the field, and then we get put back right away. If you ever been to Brownsville show in PA, this is kind of like a little mini version of that as far as equipment goes. There's a lot of neat stuff here. Like I said, a little bit of everything here. A couple big pans. Got a awesome Euclid with the Detroit in it, man. I think sounds good. Here's something I'd like to get my hands on and play with. This Bay City dragline, or whatever you want to call it. It runs. I don't think anybody's been on it this year, but I think it's got a little Detroit in it. Check this big old Euclid out. Like I said, Detroit, first like a kitten. Old cable operated. Amazes me how they came up with some of this stuff. You could definitely move some earth with that thing back in the day. Like I said, this place is based for kids. And they not only have one train, they have two. They got an actual railroad. It's a narrow gauge that came from Baraboo, Wisconsin, was moved here. You can see the track right there. And also had the little kiddie train that runs around everywhere. Like I said, this place is based for kids with a little bit of everything here. Working equipment, demonstrations, you name it. If it's construction or farming related, it's here. And it's a great opportunity for families to bring everybody, old and young, to be able to experience some stuff that normally people don't get to see. I'll be back. The Moore family puts all this on, and Kenny Moore Sr., this was his vision, to have something for the local families to be able to go to and experience things, like I said. And that's an old mill that was moved here from the local town. This is all equipment that he bought to re-erect the mill. Like I said, the railroad came from Baraboo, Wisconsin. It was from a munitions factory. Moved it all here, including the locomotive. Got a little sawmill to play with here at one point. This is a project they've been working on. It sat here for a few years in the spot that it's in, but they want to get an engine put on it and actually be able to saw. So that'll be something else that will be kind of neat to be able to experience. And then if you're a fan of tractor pulling from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, you might recognize this tractor. Shotgun Red. I grew up going to tractor pulls, watching that thing go screaming down the tracks. So like I said, it's not only a engine and tractor show. It has a little bit of everything here. Here's the, as you want to call it, tractor section. I think it's a cool thing, but a lot of this stuff is local and everybody knows everybody. This big beast was actually driven here about 10 miles. The big old Cummins in it, V8.
Okay, Chloe, it's time to go!
I'd love to have one of these one day. This is a beautiful example of one. Ain't she pretty? He restored this in the late 80s, early 90s. Still looks pretty good. Couple D21s here, big cat haul truck. Local wrecker service brings their wreckers here every year. Prince's, nice big auto car. Don't see too many GMC Generals around anymore. There's something we need to go look at. Not too many of these around. UDLX. That was Minneapolis' idea for the farmer to have one vehicle to go to town in and plow the fields. Pretty neat, pretty rare too. All enclosed cab. Got room for the family in there. Ever seen a stone tractor? I got one. I think Fred Flintstone used to own that. This whole show is meant to be fun. There's no BS, nothing like that. Everybody has a good time, and you know, it's one of the few shows that about everybody here, if you want to drive something, ride something, or play with something, they're more than accommodating. We're going to head up to the mill. It's a beautiful 21. Anyway, ADD kicked in. This mill I mentioned was moved here from the town just down the road, just a few miles. It was believed to be built in the 1880s, somewhere in there. Obviously, it's been, you know, new siding and whatnot, but it pretty much looks the same as it did when it sat. All the beams and everything inside have been re-erected here, and they got a lot of cool stuff inside. So I'll give you a little quick tour of that. The second floor the kids love because it's nothing but toy farms.
How you doing?
Not too bad. You?
Good.
Did you just get here?
Yeah.
Give you a pretty good eye view of part of what's up here. The roof, or the building with the blue roof, is the old certified station from Dresden. The one with the copper roof is an original switch house for the ORW railroad that was in Chandlersville, Ohio. And they moved all this stuff here and keeping the history alive. That building there is the eat stand, along with vendors that come in. And then you can kind of see where all the construction equipment is. Things are kind of winding down, but they do have a stage and have live music here throughout the day. Yesterday was bluegrass, and then in the evening they had a local artist named Brian Lewis that does country music, and he's pretty darn good at it. But like I said, all kinds of cool things to do here. If you're into Gravely tractors, the Gravely Club meets up here, and they have a little get together here as the show's going on. And again, I keep pushing the thing with kids, but that's what this show is geared towards. And they got the little toot area, as it's called. You have face painting, and you can purchase your tickets over here for the digger, which I showed you there at the beginning, and get your train ride tickets. It's well, just a unique show. Like I said, that building is the old certified gas station from Dresden, Ohio, and that's the old switch house from the railroad. This is the inside of that switch house. It's pretty neat, especially being the original condition that it's in. They moved it here. I don't know when. It's been a little while, but it's been untouched. They did put a paint job on it on the outside, but other than that, the inside's pretty much how it would have been. I mean, where else do you see this stuff? And you know, like most shows, you got a swap meet area or a flea market. You got vendors set up, get a little bit of anything and everything you could ever want. Oh look, my stuff. You guys have seen all this, so we're not really going to talk about it. But yeah, I bring stuff here and show it. You may have noticed that engine in the last video. I got to get that one running for a guy. And this one you've seen running, it just decided to shut off. So we'll have to figure out why it did that. Then obviously you got the truck here too. I got fancy. I got a little banner now. Well, the wind blew the hot tube out, so I'm gonna let it warm back up and try starting the thing back up. Well, she should be warm enough, so let's see if it'll fire. Ta-da! So how many 5-year-olds can say they ran a mini hoe and a backhoe? I'm gonna walk in the basement of the mill here, where all the toys are at. I thought it'd only be right to show you the man that started all of this. That's Kenny Moore Sr. He's passed away now, but his family's keeping the legacy going and his vision going, and it's definitely thriving. So hopefully this video is going to do justice to this place. And if you're curious about the show dates or the name of this, I know I haven't mentioned it yet. It is the Country Crossroads Education of Yesterday, and it is in Dresden, Ohio, at the intersection of State Route 60 and 16 on Cass Irish Ridge Road. They have a Facebook page that you can go to. Just Google search Education of Yesterday. I think on just Google, and make sure you just include Facebook on there, and it'll bring it up. I'll also link it down in the description of the video if you're interested in it. But if you're not doing anything on the third weekend of October every year, bring your family down. You will not be disappointed. Another thing that's neat about this place is bring your tractor and your plow, and they got fields to plow. And you can do some old school corn picking. Well, the show's pretty much wound down and everybody's packing up and leaving, and hopefully I was able to relay the message to you how kind of cool this place is, and you know, you can be able to make it out here next year. Again, Country Crossroads, Education of Yesterday. It is the third weekend religiously in October. Come out, bring your family, your kids, all that stuff, and yeah, come out and enjoy it. Well, I'm not going to load any of my stuff up today. I'm going to wait till tomorrow and do it, and maybe not be such a muddy mess. But yeah, as always, until next time, go get your hands dirty.